It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Thursday show, September 28th, 2000. Excuse me. What the?
Look at that guy. Was it that good?
What in the world? You guys did me wrong.
Was the scout massage?
I wanted to video it.
Come
relaxing,
on, man.
Was it
That
that
jerks?
Well, that relaxing?
You know what? I got nothing to be ashamed of.
No,
that's
you
my
don't.
girl. That's my girl Becca giving me the old scalp massage. She knocked me out today.
She did.
I was snoring like a baby.
Yes, you were. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I first walk in through here. I walk from the beginning of Lady James through the studio. Don't see Ryan Ermanni. I speak to Becca, mind you. Don't see Ryan Ermanni. I walk in the studio. Don't see Ryan Ermanni. I walk in the back. I don't see Ryan Ermanni. Once I walk back in the studio, I see him peeking up. Hey, buddy, you were knocked out.
Look, this is the treatment you
were
get
out
at
of
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men.
She
Yeah.
protects you too,
She
because
does.
I
does.
want to come up to you and like
Yeah.
scare the hell out of
She
you.
will not let you do it.
She would not let.
No.
She would not let.
Becca is the best.
She loves you too. Like, I'm almost jealous. Like, I want to go and get a scalp massage, but I feel like you'll beat me up.
No, man.
I'm cool. I'm good.
Oh, man.
I come in peace.
I want people to experience that. That's
Lady Jane's, baby.
That's great treatment right there. I want to thank Becca and everybody here at Lady Jane's for doing what they do. Guys, September 28th, big game. Big game. Lions and Packers tonight on Fox 2, by the way.
Yeah.
You do not need that Prime Video subscription tonight. That is pretty major locally here, too. Because
I could tape the game.
absolutely, you can tape the game. Not everybody's got access to Prime Video, so that game will be locally in the Detroit area on Fox 2 Detroit. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon to you as well, Ryan Ermanni. I woke up today. Tom Mazaway, good to see you.
Hey, Bray.
Woke up. I looked at myself yesterday in the mirror and I said, you know what? I didn't like what I saw. I said, so this is the perfect time to get in shape. It's fall, it's sweater season, it's hoodie season. So I went to the gym, got a good workout in, feeling good, feeling fresh, feeling renewed. So I'm trying to keep it up, though.
Oh, man, you got this,
I started
Bray.
it and stopped,
You got this,
I got a
my
new truck
friend.
and I got outside. So, I'm back inside now.
Amen to that. Tom Mazaway, what do you got in your hand over there,
I'm
buddy?
working out too. Working out with
Stop
this
staying away
big
from
jug
that.
of candy corn. Thank you to Neil Rule and whoever sent this to Neil Rule. Much appreciated.
I gotta
guys.
say this.
Happy
the
Halloween,
corn.
baby.
For as much as Neil and I disagree with each other on a lot of things, we do agree on our hatred of candy corn. It's just a bunch of whack sugar.
Yeah.
You might as well just eat a candle
With sugar in it.
with sugar in it.
There you go. All right. And
Delicious. Why wouldn't you do that?
I had 5 pieces of candy corn in the back before the show. That will be all the candy corn that I will consume through the holiday season or through the Halloween season. That was it. So
You're
I
lost.
don't dislike it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just yeah.
Just the sight of it makes me
Yeah.
happy. It does.
Well, you say it's almost surpassed Christmas as your favorite
You like all
holiday.
Halloween. I guarantee all holiday candy. I guarantee you like Peeps for Easter.
I could eat one or two.
Okay.
One or two.
Oh, man,
But
so
I'm definitely
funny.
going to try them.
Peeps.
Hey guys,
Definitely gonna try it.
let's get into it. We'll talk to Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com, in about 30 minutes from now. We'll also check in with our friends from Green Bay, Ron Cracchiola and all the
Crack
Tub
man.
Gators, the Crack Man, what he's got going on down there, the tailgate at Lambeau Field. We'll check in with him. But guys, this really feels like a big game early on. If you just simply look at the division right now, Chicago and Minnesota are 0-3. It appears to be right now a 2-team race for the division between Detroit and Green Bay. You were 5-1. The Lions were within the division last year. Man, you could. I don't want to say you could win the division tonight, but you could certainly put a huge gap between you and the second team, the closest team next to you. This feels like a big one.
Yeah, this is a huge game for the Detroit Lions, and you definitely can put some separation between the rest of the division. Look, Chicago's not going to be in the picture. Minnesota, as of right now, they're not in the picture. They're nowhere close. It's Green Bay and it's the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions were supposed to win this division to start the season, and Jordan Love was supposed to be this quarterback that wasn't that good. So when you look at it like this, Ryan, I'm watching how the team is coming along, just quick quick glance, I want to see them dominate this game. Like, I want to see the Lions win handily this game. We keep talking about them being the brand new Lions. We keep talking about them being the team that's supposed to win this division. The teams that are supposed to win divisions, what they do when they play against division rivals, they dominate. They control the game. Whether it's Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes playing against Justin Herbert, they usually win that game because it's a big game. Whether it's the Philadelphia Eagles last year playing anybody in that division, they dominate that game because they were tops in the division. The Detroit Lions, we believe, to be tops in the division, and they're playing better football after last week. So I expect them to come out and win handily, if I'm being honest.
I'll take a game like last week against Atlanta. I don't care how ugly it is.
Yep.
I think they're going to I think they could do the same thing they did to Atlanta to the Packers. I believe that the Lions will win handily, but I'll take a 20-6 game. I'll take a 20-17 game. By the way, did you know this is the first time in the Super Bowl era, matter of fact, first time in like 100 years, that the same teams will meet each other on a Thursday? Because come Thanksgiving, back come the Packers and the Lions. How about that for a little stat
That
for
is
you?
a good stat.
It's a good stat.
That's a good stat.
Let me tell you about 3 in a
Excited
row.
about that stat.
3 in a row the Lions have won, right? Now you want
That's right.
2 in a row at Lambeau.
3 in a row.
Because this is the new Lions.
Yeah, three in a row. The Detroit Lions have won, starting with the game here against Aaron Rodgers. They beat him in Lambeau, and now this will be the chance for them to win 3 in a row. Look, I say it like this, and the reason why I say I want a little bit more Maz than last game, last game is fine. You dominated on defense. That was a hell of a performance by that defense. Brian Branch, Aiden Hutchinson, great performance. But on offense, you were 4-14 on third down. That's not cutting it against the best teams. You want to correct that now. Third down, Ryan Ermanni, is how you stay on the field. It's how you keep the really good offense on once you start playing those. So you can't go 4-14 again. I don't want to see that. So that's what I mean by I want to see a little bit more dominant in this game. 4 for 14 on third down is not going to cut it in the NFL when you're playing the likes of Dallas, if they figure it out, Kansas City, Philadelphia, and the juggernauts, if you will. 4-14 won't cut it.
Let me talk to you guys. Earlier today, there was a lot of confusion because Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network,
Who is great.
who is fantastic, and I give him a lot of credit for correcting himself, but he came out and said that Taylor Decker and David Montgomery were not expected to play. We're going to be out in this one, and that Emmanuel Mosley would play. And it created a bit of a firestorm because that goes exactly opposite to what Dan Campbell said earlier this week.
Yeah.
And then Justin Rogers came out, Lions beat reporter for the Detroit News.
Shout out to Justin Rogers.
Absolutely. He said, actually, he's been informed that Decker and Montgomery will suit up tonight, and the NFL Network report was wrong. Pelissero comes back and says, this one's on him. He made a mistake. He'll own it, which I
respect.
love.
Lot of respect.
I totally respect it.
Lot of respect.
And he said, I was wrong. I got it twisted. Mosley out, Decker and Montgomery in. And just the fact that Decker and Montgomery in, I think that is incredibly huge for exactly, Maz, what you were talking about, though, a minute ago. This one could be a rough and tumble NFC Central Division matchup.
It's a Thursday ugly game
where you do have to, fight for those ugly yards. And who is the ugly yard guy? It's David Montgomery. It's not Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs does not need to be running up behind Frank Ragnow. It's those tough yards that David Montgomery will get that will help keep moving the chains and hopefully onward to victory.
I respect Tom Pelissero a lot for saying that, because a lot of these guys that break news or guys like that in his lane, they don't come out and own it. They'll try to find a way to pass blame to somebody. So I do respect him. But it is for that exact reason. It is for that exact reason that Justin Rogers talks about. Taylor Decker will be playing tonight, Ryan Ermanni. David Montgomery will be playing tonight, Ryan Ermanni. Tom Mazaway, you guys say, you want that old slobber knocker, NFC Central, it's got Thursday night game. This ain't Aaron Rodgers, and this ain't Brett Favre. This is Jordan Love, and so far, they haven't necessarily shown me, just my eyes, that they're that type of team that can hang with the Detroit Lions and deserve to have one of those contests. Until Derek Carr got hurt, they were getting skunked by the Saints. Derek Carr gets hurt, and here comes some offense. They've won ugly on offense. I don't believe in that offense. This is the time for the Detroit Lions, who are supposed to win this division, who just beat the Kansas City Chiefs at home in Arrowhead. I just want to see him take that stance and really become the dominant force in the NFC North.
Packers are way better on offense than the Falcons, so it's not going to be a 6-point. They're not going to score 6. They're going to get in the end zone. You just got to get in the end zone.
Have
a
you
little bit more
watched the
than
Packers offense this year? Or have you just looked at the highlights?
No, I've watched them.
They're not that good. I'm telling you.
Well, they do get Christian Watson back tonight. He has not played. They do get Aaron Jones back. He has not played. The problem with Green Bay is the left side of their offensive line is out. David Bakhtiari is out. Their left guard is out. So what will the Lions' defensive line be able to do in this one? Elton Jenkins is out. And then their linebacker and safety out as well. So they're dealing with injuries too. These Thursday night games usually are ugly football games.
They are.
You take the under in them. You know, the under hits for like 90% on Thursday night. It's usually pretty close. And they're just generally ugly games. So if you can run the football and stop the run, you have a leg up for sure.
Let me ask you a question then. That's fine. I definitely want to see a win. At the end of the day, you just want the Lions to keep on rolling. You want the W's to keep rolling behind each other. But at what point do you want the Lions to show more? Like, at what point will you not accept just a win?
Never.
I'm just asking.
Me neither.
I mean, honestly, I'm not. You would obviously love to have, everything look great. But in this league, man, you know as well as anybody, a win is a win is win. And honestly, they have put it together defensively. Last week they answered the bell. Offensively, they just, you know what? I don't think
you can blame injury.
I don't think you could really take anything yet from these guys. Early in the season, the defenses are generally ahead of the offenses. And the Lions didn't play in the preseason at all, so that game one was an ugly game. The second game, they did score 31 points. That's a lot of points. You should win the football game if you score 31 points. And then last week, they did exactly what they had to do. Undermanned, injuries. So we'll see what they do tonight. I think they can. I just want them to, even if it's 17-16, just come out with a win.
Yeah, and I understand that, and it's fine. You're absolutely right. It is tough to win in this league, Ryan. But the teams that stay at the top, the teams whose names seem to float around the Super Bowl, whether it's the Dolphins, whether it's the Bills, whether it's the 49ers, whether it's the Chiefs, whether it's the Cowboys, whether it's the Eagles, they put up 45 sometimes. They dominate opponents. Buffalo, in the last two games, dominated opponents. Obviously, they've been more healthy, so you can do that. Look at Miami. And I'm not even talking about the 70 because that's just freaking ridiculous. But just look what they've done all season. So I'm just saying, at some point.
Next week against Carolina. How about that?
See, I'm good with that.
Next week against Carolina on a Thursday night, just escape with a win. A Thursday night road game, I don't care if it's 10-9.
I'm absolutely
just come
fine
out with
that.
a win. Next week against the Panthers,
Pounder.
put up 40.
I'm good with
Show
that.
me what you got.
I'm absolutely good with that.
Guys, I got to get a break in. When we come back, more Lions talk. Mike O'Hara going to join us 15 minutes from now. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Grab-and-go steaks. Order online if you can't make it in person. They ship next day. FairwayPacking.com, FairwayPacking.com.
Prime aged source cut packed to perfection.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey gang, want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile in the great city of Ferndale. Looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac? Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Hey guys, did you catch Real Sports lately?
Last one I saw was doing
did
Kobe.
not.
I watched it last night, and I've fallen off the wagon a little in the last year. It's been so-so. But last night
man.
there was a special on Rodney Pete and Holly Robinson Pete's son. His name is RJ. It's Rodney Jr. They were twins, him and his little daughter, and he has autism. And the doctors were always telling him, the kid's not going to be able to do this, not going to do this, not going to do this. He's never going to be able to say, I love you, not going to be affectionate. Well, this kid has grown up, and they pull some strings. They get him an interview with the Dodgers. Dodgers hire him as like a clubhouse manager. So the clubhouse manager takes him under his wing. And he figured, the kid will last a month. We're doing a favor. This kid took to it like a duck to water. And he has been there for years now. Few years, and it's just a phenomenal story about this kid, how he's grown up. He's driving, he does his own stuff. I mean, their hope is that he's gonna be able to go on his own one day, which is not something that these kids get a chance to do, most of them. And it's just a great heartwarming story. Rodney Pete and Holly Robinson Pete's son. I highly recommend anyone that digs a great story like that. Watch Real Sports.
Would love to see that one. And he announced a couple of months ago that this was going to be his final season. He was going to retire.
Brian Gumbel?
Yeah.
And, I hope they keep it going. I hope someone else gets the hosting because I've loved the show.
Yeah.
And last night there was some great stories. There was one on Roberto Aguayo. Remember he got drafted in the second round out of Florida State by the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
And he was perfect in college. They called him Mr. Perfect. They get him in the second round, and the kid flames out. And on HBO Hard Knocks, he gets let go right there on national TV. Never kicked again. The wife divorces him. He just falls into a hole. What these kickers go through, it is. You either get an A or an F. That's Andrea Kramer did the story. It is
great reporter.
It is a tough story to watch, man. On NFL kickers. It's a good one last night. You should watch it.
Well,
guys.
now that you've lightened the mood, let's continue on with a lot of Lions and Packers talk.
They do have a game tonight. There is a game tonight. The Detroit Lions.
Lions, baby.
I mean, don't screw you. I'm going to have some candy corn.
Hey, let's do a show.
Braylon,
What's wrong with that story I just gave you?
Maz, we're just busting your chops.
There's just no easy transition to this guy's wife divorcing him, losing his kids, losing his house, and having a really tough time.
And then the kicker goes mental.
The Lions.
Speaking of kickers, Riley Patterson tonight.
He looks real good, doesn't he?
He's good on extra points.
Well, you know what? Speaking of this is a great point. This is a great point you bring up. Because doesn't tonight feel like a game where Dan Campbell will go completely opposite of what he did last week, go for it on every fourth down, fake punt, do something crazy, and never bring out that field goal kicker?
I'm glad you asked that question because you talked about the keys to the victory and keys to the game. Yesterday, Dan Campbell said something that was very interesting. I didn't like the comment, but it was very interesting. He said it at the podium, and he said if he could take back one thing he did last week, Ryan Ermanni, he feels like last week he was too conservative. Felt like he was too conservative. Me, on the other hand, I was like, I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
So my biggest concern, if I'm being honest, is if Dan Campbell wasn't, as they say, trolling with that comment yesterday, if he's serious about it, I feel like he was too conservative. Felt like he was too conservative. Me, on the other hand, I was like, I thought it was perfect. So my biggest concern, if I'm being honest, is if Dan Campbell wasn't, as they say, trolling with that comment yesterday, if he's serious about it, I feel like he was too conservative. That's a worry. That's an issue for me because I thought last week he did it perfect. I thought he didn't second guess himself, put himself in good situations. He took what they gave him. He understood what the defense was doing. You don't need to go for it on fourth down all the time when you got a good defense. When you got a defense that play like the defense did last week, Aiden Hutchinson with the 2 sacks, the forced fumble, the deflection, Brian Branch 11 tackles, Tracy Walker 6 tackles. When guys are getting after it, you saw the hit on Brian Branch, how he establishes that presence. When you got a defense playing like that, you don't have to be tricksy. You don't have to do like the game against the Green Bay Packers on Monday night 2 years ago. You don't have to do the game against the LA Rams 2 years ago where you're doing trick things because your team's not that good. You don't trust your defense. I trust Detroit's defense. I hope Dan Campbell does.
No doubt, man. I thought last week, too, just do what the game dictates. Look at the game story and go from there.
Yeah.
I thought Dan Campbell coached a really good game. You've got another team out there in the Atlanta Falcons last week that scored 3 points. They couldn't get into the end zone. Why would you give them a short field?
Why?
You pin them back. Make them go to the length of the field. Yep. You didn't need to go for it on fourth down. Punt the football. Sometimes pulling out the kicker is a good thing. And I thought it was the smart thing, and I felt like Dan Campbell evolved into he did what the game called for on that particular Sunday. And I hope he doesn't just kind of forget what it takes to win a football game and try to go out there and fake punt it at the 17-yard line or go for it on 4th and 7 at his own 40 or something like that. Just stay within the game.
Bad coaches don't allow things to come to him. You hit the nail on the head. Last week he allowed the game to come to him. He didn't make dumb decisions. He didn't give an Atlanta Falcons team short field because they didn't need it. He didn't believe it. He knew the defense can back him up. Contrary to popular belief, look what Brandon Staley did to the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings go for it on fourth down as opposed to punting to their team. Make smart decisions. Good coaches adapt. They adapt. If you come into the game playing Ryan and Ermanni and you're like, we're going to play the same plan against the Atlanta Falcons, against the Green Bay Packers, you come in and they're a little bit better. You get behind. You may have to try some trick stuff. But don't tell yourself, I'm going to this game and I'm not doing this, or I'm going to this game and I'm not doing that. You go into the game and you adapt. If you feel like, hey, I might need to try some trick stuff to get the team over, then go for it. You're the coach. But don't come into this game predetermined on what you're not going to do and what you are going to do.
Look, if you would have bet, you would have gotten 5 million to 1 that he was going to fake a punt against Kansas City in the first quarter on his 20-yard line. 5 million to 1. No coach that goes against the Lions knows what this guy's going to do. Nobody knows what this guy's going to do. And it's because of how he's done it for these first 2.5 years. And it's great, I think.
It has served him well.
It serves him well.
Yeah,
and it's going to do it for the future.
You're absolutely 100% spot on about that. I guess my only thing is just early on in the game, don't give them momentum.
Yeah.
Don't do anything that you don't have to do. I understand when you're playing against the defending Super Bowl champs, you're an underdog, you're undermanned, you're on the road, nobody expects you to win. You can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, by the way, that one call in the first quarter helped them win the game. Without that call, they don't win that game.
Momentum,
they're coming into this game right now tonight against the Packers with a 1-2 record probably if that isn't a successfully called fake punt. But now, in a situation like this, I think you are the favorite. You are expected to win the game.
They're a 2.5-point favorite.
Is it up to 2.5?
Yes, 2.5.
And that's why I say I want this. And that goes back to Taylor Decker playing tonight, and it goes back to David Montgomery playing tonight, and it goes back to I want them to have one of those really good games. Look, they can just win this game. I understand. I just want to be a little bit more efficient. And I understand last week Taylor Decker's not playing. He's the main guy on that offensive line. He's the guy that makes the line go tick. And then David Montgomery's your guy. He hits it up in there. He runs between the tackle. He's the big bruiser. He's the thunder to Jahmyr Gibbs' lightning. So I get it. But they're back now, and they're playing against the Green Bay team, in which I think that offense could be a lot more efficient than they were last week. I will say it again. 4 for 14 on third down. That's not how you win games on prime time, and that's not how you win games when you get late into the seasons, into the Novembers, Decembers, and Januarys.
I'll tell you, man, I lost my train of thought.
My apologies. I was talking too much.
Almost had it.
I know, that's all right. If you think about
you know what I was going to say? I wish they were the underdog. Because what do smart bettors bet on, Ryan?
Home
dogs. Divisional home dogs.
Correct.
Division
I don't
dogs.
like them being favored. I don't like it. But I still think they're going to win. I just don't like it.
You know who's going to have a big game tonight for me?
Go ahead.
I think it is this ground game, and I'm gonna say Montgomery and Gibbs together. I'm gonna lump them in.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have over 150 yards rushing combined, and they might get up near 200.
That's a lot.
The Green Bay Packers, through 3 games anyway, they are vulnerable to the run. Right now, they are allowing 136 yards a game through 3 games. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 teams are worse than them right now doing that. And you've got your offensive line back. And I know Vitai's out, but Glasgow is starter 1A in that position to me anyway at right guard. I think this is one of those ground and pound games where you've got these 2 guys rushing for over 150 yards. I think this feels like an 8-catch, 130-yard game for Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you score 4 touchdowns. 28 points is feels like a good number to me.
Will tonight be the night that Jahmyr Gibbs gets his first touchdown?
I don't know. I don't care who gets in the end zone, just as long as they score offensive collectively.
I think he does.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I believe Jahmyr Gibbs will get his first touchdown, but going back to what you said, Ryan, and then jumping back to you, Parker, the ground and pound game, when it's working, it works to perfection. I've seen it work so many times, man. I can name a couple of different backfields. I remember when Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen were in Chicago Bears, that Thunder and Lightning matchup. I remember what it does is the Thunder and Lightning, it mixes up the defense. And when you're running, David Montgomery at the defense to smash mouth, the Lions getting a hat on a hat, you get that physicality in there, and then you switch the game up with Jahmyr Gibbs and you bounce something outside, or you play action here and you throw over top to Sam Laporta, or whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I think is going to have a huge game, mind you. It just does something. That Thunder and Lightning, and that's what they were preparing for all season, Ryan. They were preparing for David Montgomery to beat those guys up front, whether it's the linebackers getting on the second level, and then easing Lightning in there, Jahmyr Gibbs, to do what he does in the off stuff, the misdirection things. Now that you got it back, I can't wait to see it.
Hey, man, you got 2 good tight ends, 2 young tight ends. Laporta on one side, Musgrave on the other side. So I'm looking forward to having another big game out of Sam Laporta. And I got some great audio later with Rob Gronkowski and what he thinks about this kid.
It's going to be great stuff. We will head to Green Bay and talk to Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com. We'll do that next. I don't think he's in the tub with the Tub Gators, but we'll check just in case. But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, Big Boy, you know what time it is. It's cheeseburger and chicken time. Why don't you try their great cheeseburger or their brand new pretzel bacon cheeseburger? And if you want chicken's on your mind, Dolly chicken sandwich or the Bob's hot chicken sandwich is for you. Upgrade those fries to the chili cheese fries or the loaded baked potato fries, but save room for dessert. The Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake and the funnel cake fries will scratch you right where you itch. You also can get a shake and a Big Boy from your local Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Calling all landscapers, this is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house with a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. That soccer field can be transitioned into a 7-on-7 football field, K-8, that features AM/PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollments, so go to the academyofwarren.net. That website again, academyofwarren.net.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to Woodward Sports. Also, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button for us. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people so more people get to see us. So we'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button if you are watching on YouTube. Big night here at Woodward Sports at 6:30. Jeff Iafrate is going to host the pregame show for the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers right here on Woodward Sports. Then we'll have the live watch party as well throughout the game. You could stay here, be a full house in here in studio, and then after the game, Stick and friends will take you through the post-game show. So leave it right here, Woodward Sports on YouTube. Tell all your friends about it. Going to be a big night here for the network. Guys, let's talk to Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com, longtime beat writer. Been covering this series for a long time. Mike, thanks so much for the time, buddy. Good afternoon to you.
Look.
Well, hey, Tommy. Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. Hey, can I just give you one little sports moment before we start on the football? Yeah, I just watching the Tigers game. I think the 5th inning or the 6th inning. Bases loaded, 5-0 lead. And Cabrera works the pitcher for a walk. Now, why not just close your eyes and take 3 blind swings? You know what I mean? That's what like I would do. But you know what? That's not the way you do it. And that's why he's got, that's why he is who he is and everybody else is everybody else. So it's just cool watching.
Hey, Mo,
I
got one question for you, Mo.
That was great.
In the second game, Mo, are the Tigers facing an insurmountable 0-0 tie?
That goes back a ways, Tommy. I think we'll pass on that.
All right, buddy.
It
reminds me of how old I am.
It feels insurmountable. Hey, Mike, let me ask you, first and foremost, how about the Lions going for a 4th straight win against the Packers? I mean, I went back to see when the last time they did that. It actually wasn't too long ago. It was like 2017, 2018. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly those rules, but I know the last 12 games are 7-5, and like you said, they're going, for their 4th straight. They beat them 3 in a row, which obviously how they're going to go for 4. But I think that whole the whole thing of the Packers being just insurmountable, that doesn't exist anymore. First of all, half these guys weren't there when all those wins were built up, and I don't think they care about it anyway. I just think that the Detroit Lions are who they are now, and no matter who they play, that's they're playing against an opponent. They don't care about the history of it.
No doubt about it. And Mike, let me add, last year 5-1 against the division. This year, its first game against a divisional opponent. If you look at the standings, I mean, I know it's only 3 games, but with the Bears in Minnesota at 0-3, you really could put a stranglehold on this thing early on, could you not?
Well, I think both teams will be in pretty good shape after this game, no matter what. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if you're got a 3.5 game lead and really have played, some pretty good opponents. I mean, I don't think anybody. I shouldn't say anybody. I picked it as a 2-point game, but I don't think anybody really picked that the Lions are going to win the opener. Not many people anyway, and they did. So I think the Lions are about where they should be at 2-1. I think. Sure, 3-0. Yeah, if they had to, lost to Seattle in overtime. But like I said, I think they are where they should be, and they're sort of where I predicted they would be, at least in the progression of this season.
Hey, Mike, always good to talk to you. Braylon here. Am I over?
Braylon, my man, hold on.
What's
Not
up,
so
Mike?
fast. Let's talk.
What you got for me, Mike?
My good buddy from the Green Acres neighborhood. Come by and visit someday, okay?
You're bringing up the neighborhood. I definitely got to come back. Green Acres is where I grew up, ladies and gentlemen. Every time I'm over in that area in 8 Mile and Woodward, I always stop in there, Big Mike. So I definitely, next time, I'll pop in.
Well, I've been here since 1980, so I'm sure I'll be here.
I did my stint in 93 to 2005 and got out of
Look
it.
at you.
All right, but
That's not a stint. That's a view.
don't do me like that. Mike, real question.
Anyway, go ahead. I'll shut up.
No, you're good. You're always good. Here's the real question. Real question is for me. The Green Bay Packers, I don't believe them to beat too much. I don't make much of the Chicago win, the Falcon win, and neither do I about the Saints win in which Derek Carr got injured. Now that the Lions, they get David Montgomery back. They get Taylor Decker back. They do trust Sam Laporta now. They understand what they can do on offense, and then the defense played like they played last week. Am I wanting too much for Detroit to handily beat Green Bay? Am I undervaluing Green Bay?
No, I don't think you're undervaluing them. I think one thing, though, and this is just my own opinion, I don't think that the Green Bay Packers, with all the things they've done, like in the last 18 to 20 years, you know, the rosters they've built, the games they've won, the one Super Bowl, they probably should have won more than one.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they would have let Aaron
Rodgers
go to anybody if they didn't think they had a good roster and somebody to play quarterback for them. No, not going to be a Hall of Famer, probably not anyway. But I thought, it just didn't compute that they would just give up their future Hall of Fame quarterback if they didn't think they were in pretty good shape at that position or had enough around it, to get through the season and continue to build on it. So I think we've been a little too hasty to think of the complete decline of the Green Bay Packers. In my preseason picks, I picked the Lions to win this division, the Packers for second place, Minnesota for third, and I forgot, I think, who's the fourth team? Oh, Chicago. Oh, my God.
They don't exist.
The Monsters of the Midway. Wait till Halloween comes.
One Super Bowl. Bowl.
Hey, Mo, what's your thoughts this early on this great tight end that they drafted in Sam Laporta? I think he is trending to be one of the better ones in the league here in the next year or two.
It certainly looks like it, and I like the way he plays. Look, you can get guys who pick up a lot of statistics, but really, I think you also have to look at the way they play too. And the thing about him is it's almost effortlessly for him.
Yep.
The way he catches the ball, turns upfield, and adds yardage. Now, look, I was a big T.J. Hawkinson fan. I really was. When I say fan, I'm talking about as a player. And he's a good guy too, but just as a player, he's always going to catch a lot of balls. But what kind of yards after the catch is T.J. going to get? It's just not in his DNA to turn upfield, and he's not that nimble. But this guy, Laporta, I mean, look, he's done some amazing things already. He's got 18 catches in 3 games. You're talking about on course for a 100-catch season, and he's already developed a rapport with his quarterback. So, you know what? Yeah, we could expect too much of him, but I think we're already getting, signs that it's not too much.
All right, but how about on the other kid that they drafted in the first round, Jahmyr Gibbs? What's your take on him going this early?
Well, I want to see more, but you always do out of a running back. I thought is he the guy who had 7 carries for 17 yards against Seattle, or is he the guy who had 17 carries for 80 yards in the last game? And that game, he kind of broke it open with his back-to-back carries of the 23 yards or 21 yards and 13 yards. 13-yarder up the middle, and then 21 yards down the left sideline. He really showed a little bit of what, to me, is to come. He's one of the guys that I really spent a lot of time looking at in the draft before, in March and April before the draft came out. I thought, if he's there, if I'm the Detroit Lions, because I didn't expect Bijan and Robinson to be there, I thought he was a guy, if I were the Detroit Lions, I would really look, depending on who else is on the board, I'd look really hard at him to draft him in the first or second round. As it turned out, they got him in the first round.
All right, Mo, now I'm the only guy here that basically is still crying about DeAndre Swift not being on this team. I just want to ask you, in hindsight, should they have not kept this guy around as a safety valve? Because let's face it, I know the best ability is availability, and I know he's played half his games with the Lions, 60%, whatever. But you had a rookie contract, and he's playing for a contract. Now, people say, yeah, he's going to be a malcontent. He's a pro. If you kept him, now you don't have to rush David Montgomery back tonight. I'm just saying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I never saw anything in the 3 years that he was here. He was a malcontent. Was he a guy who maybe wanted the ball a little bit more. Probably he's a running back. Running backs and wide receivers, what do they want? They want the ball. Why wouldn't they? That's
right.
How they make their living. That's what they do for a living. But no, I didn't think it was a bad move at all. I thought, first of all, they got, they've got 2 players now that they used in that draft, and I just didn't think you could trust him to stay healthy. And look, he looks terrific now, and he made some great plays here with the Detroit Lions, but it never stood up. It never stood the test of time. So, no, I was not against it at all. I liked his ability. I loved it, but he also had a couple of holes in his game that we haven't been able. You don't see him when you see 3 highlights a week on a player. But no, I'm not surprised that he's done well. As a matter of fact, he was my pick at running back in the year he came out. And I thought the Detroit Lions at the end of the first round. I told Tim Twentyman, my writing partner at DetroitLions.com, if I'm the Detroit Lions, I make a trade to get him with the first pick of the second round. Well, they didn't have to trade, and they got him, I think, with the 3rd pick in the second round. So that's how high I was on him.
Mike, here's a quick question. I'm going to try to lay this out for you. We know Dan Campbell as a gambler. That's what he's been in the first 2.5 years that he's been the head coach for the Detroit Lions. And then we second-guessed himself week 2 against Seattle. He comes out, and then against Atlanta, week 3, more conservative game plan, which I like. I said, hey, if you got a good defense, playing a good defense, don't give them any extra opportunities. Until yesterday, Mike, I'm listening to Dan Campbell at the podium, and he says, if I could regret one thing from last week, I think I was too conservative. Am I the only one that found that a bit odd and is a little bit worried, or should I just let that go as Dan Campbell trolling the media and having some fun?
Well, I don't know about trolling. I'm not exactly sure what that means in this modern era.
Just messing with the media, if you will.
Oh, I get it. Well, yeah, and I thought, and talked to a couple other guys, I thought it was just deadpan comedy. I really did.
Okay,
I thought he just stared out there, and later he had another line after that was, you're going to get 2 or 3 out of him every session. One of the things I thought he said, though, said yesterday was he was talking about the young players, the rookies going to Green Bay for the first time, and he says, guys, get ready to live. It's absolutely, he said, it's an experience of a lifetime. You'll never forget it. Your first game at Lambeau. And I think Dan talks to players, and they look at him as a former player and a head coach who knows what he's talking about. And I think he's a lot smarter than we think he is, and he's pretty smart.
Hey, Mike, I wanted to ask you about the Lions defense just as a whole. If you looked at this team last year, they ranked 29th in rushing yards allowed, 146.5 yards a game. This year, through 3 games anyway, 72 yards a game. That's 5th best in the NFL. What do you think their game plan or their defensive scheme has been? Do you think it's just better players? Do you think it's been a concerted effort they cut that in half?
Well, I think this. I think what you have to do, and some other guys have done this, and I don't have the figures right in front of me, but if you go back and look at what they did the last 10 games of the season, they were not the 29th rated team. You know what it's like? It's sort of like starting your golf round with 3 straight 9s. Try and have a good round.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'd have 4
That's
more
tough.
before I got done, but
That's
sort of the analogy I'm making. They were much better defensively in almost every category in the last 10 games than they were in the first 7. So I think you have to take that into account now. They had a couple of stinkos in there too, like Carolina Panthers. I think we had for 3 Bills, something like that.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And so so they had their moments there. They got beat 25-0, I think it was, by the Patriots. But overall, those last 10 games where they were 8-2, they didn't get those in the mail. Well, they got those out there on the playing field, and they were much better defensively than they were, say, the first 6 or 8 games.
And just moreover, I don't know about rushing yards. I'd have to go back and do that, but I do know points. Last year, the first 7 games of the season, the Lions allowed 30 points a game. In the last 10, they allowed 20 points a game. And then early on this season, they held Kansas City to 20. They held Atlanta to 6. And, of course, Seattle scored 31 in regulation, but 7 of those points came on a pick 6. So you could even call it 24. This Lions defense is not allowing a lot of points at all.
No, and especially in the modern era of football, the modern era, which changes every week or every year. But it's a different game right now. You're not going to see teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers or some of the others that just absolutely shut people out for 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time. Those days are gone. The rules don't. They want offense, and they're going to get offense, and with offense comes points. But I think they've done a couple of things the way they played their linebackers the last couple of weeks. I mean, Alex Anzalone is. Look, I've always thought that he was an undervalued, underrated player here in his first 2 years with the Lions, but he really set the tone for that game last week. I mean, look, he's fast, he's smart, he's got good leadership qualities, and he's really, really built. That guy is strong, super strong. I think that's been part of it too. I think the better players. I think they're starting to get a feel for all of it.
Hey, Mike, final question. I know the players, of course, they go game to game. They don't look past the next one. But
at all.
At all. But for us, we do. This thing here, you've got Green Bay tonight, Carolina, Tampa, Baltimore looks very beatable. The Colts got them at home. Then the Raiders, the Chargers, they always blow games at the end. The Bears, the Packers, the Bears again. I mean, this thing, looks like the Detroit Lions are ripe for a serious run here. Does it not? Or am I in La La Land here?
Both.
Fair enough, Mike. Fair enough. Well said.
And that's not a bad place to be either. Look, I think there's legitimate reasons. I think this is a legitimately good football team. That's my projection for them at the start of this season. And I'll back up on one other thing too before we go. My projection for this season, I just checked it again, was 10-7, but 10 was sort of my bottom. I could see them getting to 11 or 12. I don't see them falling through the bottom at all. Just to give you a year ago, and I make my projections in a column we have called the Monday Countdown, and the first Monday Countdown of the season is my projections. And I went back and looked after the season, where I had put the Detroit Lions. I picked them to go 9-8. I looked at it and I said, I must have been crazy. Why could I do a thing? But you know what? Turned out to be right. And you know what? I really think I'm right this season too. I think this is a 10-7 team with the ability. You never heard about injuries. They've already partially weathered that storm a little bit, and they're getting guys back. But this has a chance to be more than a 10-win team.
No doubt about it. And look, a 12-win team. A 12-win team might get you the 2 seed in the NFC. It really might. Outside San Francisco, and then Philadelphia and Dallas might beat each other. Yeah. We'll see what happens there. Mike, thanks so much for the time, my friend. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll be reading you on DetroitLions.com in the morning.
Well, you're the one. Hey, thank you.
Hey, Mo.
I got to come by Green Acres, though. I got to come by and show love.
You sure do. Come on, knock on the door. I'll let you in.
This is true. I appreciate it. Thank
Mo,
you for letting me in.
This is for you, Mo, because I know you probably don't know how to get Amazon on your TV. You can watch the game tonight on Fox 2.
Look at that. Just for you, Mike.
Fox 2. All right, great.
How about that?
It's one of the pleasures of living in Detroit.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
See you, brother.
That's great. DetroitLions.com. Great content on that site.
Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Guys, we got to get a break in. More Lions talk. Now we can react. We can react to, that projection now. Just look ahead a little bit. Let's allow ourselves to look ahead a little bit here. How high can this win total go? We'll go there next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Hey, we want you to join Woodward Sports at Long Drink next Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market, Shed 5. Lions and Panthers going at it. It starts at 9:30 until game time. The official Lions tailgate back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports? Be treated like a VIP. Food, beverages, entertainment, all included. Get your tickets online today for next Sunday's game at bullseyeeventgroup.com, bullseyeeventgroup.com, or win some on Woodward Sports today. Subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on IG. Direct message Lions VIP. Woodward Sports Network on a Thursday game day. Thursday night football. Lions and Packers. As Matt told you in the last segment, you can watch it on Fox 2 locally in Detroit. It is a prime video game, so Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit will have the call.
You know something that Michael Harris said? He talked about Dan Campbell talking to the team and telling them how special Green Bay was. And, I was starting to think, because, I've told you my story, first touchdown to Lambeau. And I'm listening, and I start to realize why Green Bay is so special, at least to me and to Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell played for the Lions. Dan Campbell knows what it feels like to go to Lambeau Field. He knows what it is to be a part of the rivalry. Me, I didn't play for the NFC North, but I grew up in Detroit. So I got to see Green Bay beat our ass for the better part of the 18 years of my life and then in college. So I understood what Green Bay was. I was walking there and know who the hell Ray Nitschke was. How many 22-year-olds walking in Lambeau know who Ray Nitschke is?
It's just the history of that Packers team. You look back and it's Vince Lombardi. He took over for Curly Lambeau Field. I mean, all you got to do, guys, is go there once. And even if you don't go, watching games all over the years, I mean, how does not a part of you that loves football so much not like the Packers a little? You go there, their fans are second to none. They treat you with respect. They don't curse at you. They don't throw things at you. It's the greatest place to go to. I swear. You park in the parking lot. Everyone is feeding you. It's just a phenomenal. It's phenomenal. You walk in, there's a museum as you're walking in. There's no place like it on earth. And if you love the NFL and Vince Lombardi is in your heart, you can't despise the Packers like you do the Bears.
I just don't understand how they only have 4 chips. And I know this is talking from a team that I have one with the Jets and I have none with the Lions. I'm a Lions fan now. It just seems like for all the lore, for all the love, doesn't it just seem like they would be the leaders? It would seem like they feel like the Boston Celtics of the NFL.
Yes.
And how many Super Bowls are there?
58.
58?
I understand, but it's still, I don't know. It seems like they have more. Because you talk about the dominance of when the Super Bowl era began. It was them.
Yep.
It was those guys.
Well, what do you got? You got the
Pats,
Patriots.
You got the Steelers, 49ers, Cowboys,
49ers.
Giants are there.
Giants don't have 6.
They have 4.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is the only people that have more than 4, you're talking
49ers,
Steelers, Patriots, and Steelers, right?
That's it.
So it's not like it's unheard
Ryan
of.
Ermanni, I'm just saying, it just seems like
it feels like the Packers should be the Celtics.
Thank you. Living in Detroit, all you hear about is the lore of Green Bay and this, that, and the third. You just seems like they have more than 4. At least they have a Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, 4 is I think you're elite at 4.
You are elite. You're elite at 3,
right.
Ryan. I'm just
saying.
saying.
You're elite at 3?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. What? Braylon Edwards? No, you are not.
Are you imitating yourself?
No, I'm imitating
That was Stephen
you.
A.
I don't sound like that.
That was Stephen A.
Guys, just a little bit of little bit of trivia
That was
for
white
you.
Stephen A.
A little bit of. Well, let me tell Braylon Edwards. Let me tell you. No, you are wrong, Mister.
Stephen
You
A.
are
Smith.
wrong.
That was fun. Okay.
While you guys were talking about Lambeau Field, there are 3 stadiums in the NFL that do not have sponsorship rights. Obviously, Lambeau is one of them. Can you name me the other 2?
Arrowhead.
Nope.
No, it's got a
Gale
sponsor
Field.
now.
They just got a sponsor.
Soldier Field?
Soldier Field
is one. You'll never guess the other one.
Yeah, I will.
What?
You got to give me a minute.
Okay.
I'm going through
Give
them.
me a little music,
Is
JB,
it an old stadium?
It's not particularly old. I mean, it might be like 30 years old, but
Okay.
it's not particularly old.
I'm thinking. Just give me a second.
Yeah, I'll give you a second. I can give you a conference.
Bengals.
Nope.
Paul Brown Stadium.
Nope.
They changed their name.
They
They
changed their
changed
name.
it.
They
Okay.
changed their name.
All right, I'm keep
Super Bowl.
going.
After, hey, you go to Super Bowl.
Can you
You
give us
changed.
the conference?
I give up.
No, you don't
Unless
gotta give me
Well,
the
give us the
I'm
conference.
gonna give him a count.
You don't gotta give me the
AFC.
That's what I was just thinking.
You were close, Maz.
Well, it's not Cleveland.
Yeah, it is Cleveland.
No. Oh, they
They
went
had
back
Brown
to Cleveland
They-
Browns?
Yeah,
They got rid of First Energy.
Yep.
Oh, but they
Yeah.
just got rid
Yes.
of.
Back to Cleveland Brown Stadium.
Yes, and
All
from
right.
2013 to
Okay.
2023,
Yeah.
they had a sponsorship
Exactly.
deal.
They will get another one, though.
That's cheap.
First Energy went out of business.
Exactly.
They cheated the public.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, you know why they went out of
Public.
business? Whenever you choose to put your name on the Brown Stadium,
Yeah.
you're gonna go out of business.
Oh,
That's a-
man.
It's
Maz
a nice
knows
little
everything
place.
about the NFL. He said Cincinnati. I was like, right state, wrong city. Oh, my gosh.
I can't ever get the answer. I must get them on my own.
Hey, guys, tonight, Sam Laporta is going to play. No other tight end in the history of the game, through 3 games anyway, has had more receptions than this guy, 18 receptions. So, who many people believe is the greatest tight end of all time, Rob Gronkowski.
He's up
he
there.
talked about the Lions rookie tight end.
On the Kay Adams show.
Up Sam Laporta. He's been a revelation for these Lions. Of course, we typically don't see like rookie tight ends super lighting it up. I know we have some footage for you.
Just his instinct for the game, the instinct to be able to catch the ball. He can catch the ball on the run very, very well. Like I said a little bit earlier, that he is definitely the steal of the draft. He's got speed. And he's just savvy out there. He's a savvy guy. And what's impressive is he's only a rookie. I think he has beaten the, if I'm correct, he has beaten the record, the tight end record for most amount of catches in the first 3 games
Look at him.
of a season for a rookie. And I think he has 18 catches already. I mean, the guy's legit. He's going to be the highest paid tight end in about 4 years in the NFL. He's going to be one of the best tight ends in the upcoming years in the NFL. And he's just super, super savvy. He just has that football instinct.
How do you, like, what is it about him that you see? Like, how can you make that call right now?
Just the way that he runs his routes, you know? He's just very instinctive. That's what you got to be. That's what makes a good football player. It's like he goes out on the field and he doesn't think. He just reacts, you know? And obviously,
there you have it. I mean, from Rob Gronkowski, the way he runs his routes, he would be able to tell. And he called Laporta the steal of the draft. I would say you really got 2 steals of the draft, Brian Branch and Sam Laporta. And I think those 2 right now, through 3 games anyway, would have to be the front runners for Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Definitely steals at the draft their position right now in terms of the output that they've produced for the Detroit Lions. You know, Sam Laporta, it just makes sense. You look at what he does. He's a pass receiving tight end. He's good after the catch, yards after the catch. That was a big thing of him coming out of Iowa, is what he does after the ball is in his hands. Well, what do the Detroit Lions need right now? They need a tight end that they can trust. They need a second wide receiver that they can get passes to while they figure out what the hell is going on with Jameson Williams and the second wide receiver. Sam Laporta is right there. It's perfect. Jared Goff, what type of quarterback is he? He's a quarterback that's a rhythm passer. He likes to get rid of the ball fast. He likes to get it out of his hands. That's why usually you see him when he's dropping back, as soon as he finishes his drop, he's throwing the ball, or it's a play action, he's throwing over the top. Who the guys that get the fastest, who is the position that gets down the field, middle of the field, the fastest and is wide open? It's tight end. It's a tight end position. They dominate the middle of the field. Sam Laporta was made to play for the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff in this offense and Ben Johnson.
This draft class that they took, minus Jalen Carter, put him aside. This is phenomenal job by Brad Holmes. To steal a Brian Branch and a Sam Laporta the way they did in the second round. Remember, second round used to be the death hole. It was Death Valley for the Lions. And now you're getting 4 guys, 5, 6, even your 5th guy who's going to be on the offensive line, the kid Colby Sorsdale from William and Mary.
Yeah.
Even him. Then you got your receiver in the 7th round.
Antoine Green.
That Antoine Green's playing. I mean, you couldn't have done a better job, regardless of the whole Jalen Carter thing. Congrats to Brad Holmes.
And at the end of the day, with the Jalen Carter deal, look, we didn't get Jalen Carter. We wanted Jalen Carter. He thought he was the best player in draft. He was the best player in draft. But look, that's over. The fact that you can even look at the draft picks that they were made and the deals that were done by Brad Holmes to get a comparable draft, maybe even better, once we see how it all plays out. That talks to the brilliance of Brad Holmes when it comes to analyzing talent and actually pulling the trigger on picks.
Hey guys, I didn't execute my little tease at the end there where I asked you about the Lions' schedule moving forward.
Let's do it.
Before we do a Top 10 Thursday, and we do have a great list for Top 10 Thursday this week, can we play A, B,
I love this,
or C?
Love this game.
I've got a game A, B, or C.
I already know
we'll
it.
do it
I love
next.
it.
But first, a message from Swiss.
Yes, do you have football on the brain like us? Of course you do. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you too as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or give them a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
It's getting cold outside. You know what? You need to go downtown to 5 Iron Golf inside the Cambria Hotel. Sim, rentals, lessons, leagues, bar, and restaurant. They have 13 brand new TrackMan simulators so you can play any course around the world. They also have instructors there, so if your golf game isn't up to par, don't worry about it. Pun intended. They'll get you right. Come to 5 Iron Golf. It's cold outside. You might want to come in and have a good time. Thursday night golf league 5 to 7. Check it out. 5 Iron Golf, Cambria Hotel.
Hey everybody, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the show. Hit the like button for us as well. Let's see if we can get to over 300 likes by the end of this segment. Helps YouTube push our content out to more people, so we love it if you watch it on YouTube and you hit the like button. Let me set up the rest of the day for you guys too. Big day for us here at the network. At 5 o'clock, the heavyweights will do their show for about an hour and 15 minutes. Then Jeff Iafrate will take over at 6:30. We will do the Lions pregame show. Then the live stream takes over during the game. Our watch party, so many guys are going to be in here. A lot of Woodward Sports, the whole team pretty much going to be in here watching the game. And then, of course, the post-game show afterwards. So just stay right here on Woodward Sports YouTube channel all day long. We've got you covered probably through and after midnight.
Yeah, this is true. It's going to be a long night.
Just stick right here.
We'll be up
on Woodward Sports Network. And thanks to everybody out there who is watching us live right now. We certainly appreciate it. JB, give me a little music for this, because I would like to play a game that I just thought of off the top of my head last week. We have dubbed it A, B, or C.
Beautiful.
I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to give you 3 choices, and then you guys let me know if your answer is A, B, or C.
All right.
It is. Simple as that.
Okay.
As long as we give you a letter, we win, right?
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
One of the first
here
3
you go.
letters of the alphabet, though.
Yeah.
The Lions, here's the question. And everybody in the chat right now, I invite everybody in the chat to play with us too. Stephen Baffy, D-Map, Joey Two-Time, Sean MK, Chief, LaSalle Brookins, David Brew. Come on, everybody. Sappy Johnson, let's go.
Hey, Crackman in 10 minutes, by the way.
Crackman in 10 minutes with the Tub
From the hot
Gators.
tub.
Oh, from the hot tub at Lambeau Field.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So here's the question. The Lions are 2-1.
They are.
They have 5 games, including tonight, before they get to the bye week. Those games are as follows: at Green Bay, home against Carolina, at Tampa, at Baltimore, the Las Vegas Raiders. And then you have the bye week. 5 games, 2-1 record. So will the Lions' record at the bye week be A, 7-1, B, 6-2, or C, other?
So what is it? 7-1. I'm putting a poll out.
7-1, 6-2, or other.
Okay.
Not everybody rush to say what you decide.
You want to go to Tom and you need to think about it?
I
Do you
know
have
what
your
I got.
answer?
I got mine.
Let's hear it, Bray.
I come out the gate with it. They will be 7-1. They'll be 7-1, and I'll break it down. Look, this isn't Lions Kool-Aid. This is Lions honesty. I look at the Green Bay Packers. What have I been saying all week? I do not believe in the offense of the Green Bay Packers. I think this is a game the Lions should dominate. Win that game. Panthers, do I even need to speak? Bucks, do I even need to speak? Even the Ravens game, which is the team that I picked to actually win the Super Bowl, was Baltimore Ravens. I am not buying Todd Monken's system with Lamar Jackson. It looks the exact same as Lamar has been looking the last 4 years in the NFL, not to mention their running backs are hurt. So I think that is now a game the Lions will win as well, because I had them losing that. So I got them losing. And, of course, it's Lomas night against the Raiders. They're not losing Monday night. 7-1.
Maz?
I've got B, 6-2.
Ravens?
My loss at the Ravens.
Yeah.
And even that, I'm not positive about. But I think you could put it down in writing that they're going to win the other games on that schedule. B, 6-2.
Any 6-game win streak, and that's essentially what it would be to get to 7-1, feels a little insurmountable.
We've done it before,
especially here. A 6-game win streak. When's the last time the Lions won 6 in a row?
91.
and maybe that's they did. I think maybe even they won 6 in a row in 95.
95
might be the last time this team won 6 in a row. 1995.
Yeah, I can't remember any.
You know,
I don't remember being that happy for 6 weeks.
I think we need to stop looking and this is how I looked at it, Ryan. Tell me if I'm wrong. I stopped looking at the number and I started looking at the opponent.
Yes.
Because when you look at the number, 7-1 for the Detroit Lions just sounds dumb. It sounds crazy. It sounds like ridiculous. It shouldn't happen. But when you just look at the team, as I'm looking at the team, they're better than the Packs. They're better than the Panthers. They're better than the Bucks. Right now, I think they're better than the Ravens. They're better than the Raiders. If you look at the team, 7-1 makes sense.
I mean, Indianapolis. Okay, so you go. Remember last year, you looked at the schedule, and you were like, okay, the Buffalo Bills at home on Thanksgiving lost.
Yeah.
I think this year, you look at the schedule. Okay, at Baltimore, Lamar Jackson new contract loss. The Baltimore Ravens just lost a home game to the Indianapolis Colts, who are one of the worst teams in the league with
Gardner
a backup
Minshew,
quarterback
who stepped out of bounds.
So that doesn't feel too insurmountable anymore, does it?
It doesn't.
I'm going to go 7-1. I will take 6-2. Anything other than that, I'm in freak out mode. Because of the opponents.
Yeah.
Not the number, but because of the opponents.
Well, if you're 5-3, you're not going to cry.
If you're 5-3 to these teams, though, if you're 5-3,
you're gonna be pissed if you
I'm
go on the
5-3
road
at
and
the
lose
break,
at Tampa.
I'm okay.
Okay, I understand that, but man, now you have to stop. We can't look at it like the old Lions that are happy to be 5-3. We got to look at it like the Lions we said were the best team in the NFC North.
That's going to take me a while.
That means you're going to have to. Okay, if you lose to the Ravens, I'm not mad at that. You lost to Baltimore in Baltimore, I can take that. But if you lose to the Raiders at home, I'm pissed. If you lose to the Bucks, I'm even more pissed because you know who's the quarterback. If you lose to the Panthers, I'm pissed because the quarterback is hurt and he's a rookie. If you lose to the Pack, you're not mad at that, but I am because I think
I am mad at that. Of course I am.
Okay, so if they go 5-3, you're mad.
I'm mad, but I'm okay.
Okay,
because I'm over 500. I'm sorry. I think 9-10 wins this division.
Yeah, so here's where I'll agree with you. I think you're right. I think 9 wins ultimately wins the division because I don't see a team here.
No.
And I've said this, and I said this all along. And this was when everybody's laughing at me, want to run me off the show. I don't think there's a team in this division outside the Lions that will win more than 8 games.
Agreed.
So 9-8 will win the division, in my opinion. But that's not where I want this season to go, just with a 9-8 division championship. I think you have a real opportunity, and this is the stuff that separates whether you're playing a divisional round at home or not, whether you're playing an NFC championship game at home or not. And I think this stretch right here kind of determines where that is going to lie, where you're going to fall in that ranking there.
What's game 7? The Raiders?
It's the Raiders on Monday night.
So that's J-Mo's return.
That's J-Mo's return. And also, you look at it like this. You want to buy yourself some room
at Tampa's J-Mo. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ravens.
At Ravens is the return.
Ooh. Ravens. You want to buy yourself some room for the end. If you look at the Detroit Lions right now, you look at the schedule, these are all winnable games. They could very well go 7-1. I believe they should, but they can easily go 6-2. Then you have another stretch they should win. But it's going to get more difficult because, Ryan, what do you always say? It's not about the opponent you play. It's when you play.
Yes.
The Broncos and Sean Payton.
Not who you play, but when you play them.
The Broncos and Sean Payton at the end of the year, I promise you they will have something figured out. They will be a much different Denver Bronco team that you see right now. The Vikings team, right now, Danielle Hunter's leading the league in sacks. Justin Jefferson leading the league in receptions and yards. Kirk Cousins leading the league in passing yards. They're going to figure something out by the end of the year just to be able to play against the Detroit Lions. And you know who you got the second to last game of the year. And I guarantee you that team in Dallas, who you picked to win the NFC East, they're going to have something figured out by the time that season's over. So that end stretch for the Lions, that could be a very tricky stretch the last 4 games of the season. That's why they got win as many as they can now.
Hey, 207 votes so far.
That's what I was going to say. Over 200 votes, 6-2 is the record with 52%. 7-1 comes in second at 36%.
Still going.
So basically,
6-2, they're just scared to pull the trigger on 7-1.
88% of people who have voted in this poll, and I think that's a large majority. 88% of people believe it's either A or B, 7-1 or 6-2. The other comes in at 12%.
Not happening.
Let's Crackman 10 minutes from now.
I can get him anytime if you want.
Okay. Let's do top 10 Thursday, and then we'll do Crackman coming up in about 10 minutes. Okay. We'll do that.
Okay.
Let's do that next. But first, a message from Glorious.
You hear it right now. Get your Bubble Kush Wrap Honolulu Blue. It is amazing. Glorious Cannabis Co. They make it. You can get it anywhere. You can get it at Dispo. You can get it in any dispensary. But it is smooth. It is flavorful. Smells good. Puts you in a good mood. Whether you smoke it during, before, or after the game, it's going to be there for you. Honolulu Blue. Wherever you consume cannabis. Glorious.
Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Hey, gang, let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company, official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy it, rent it. 0% financing, delivery to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCo.com, OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground. All right, Bray, you have the floor, my friend.
Yo, we'll talk with you this every Thursday. It is Top 10 Thursdays. Today, I was actually going to do, Ryan, I wanted to do the top 10 teams in the NFL. I was like, it's been a while since we've ranked the teams, but I figured with the Lions playing tonight, we'll wait till next week to do top 10. How about we do top 10 players currently in the NFL?
Ooh.
But I mean, these are my top 10 favorite players in the league right now, and we'll let you guys rank them on this list. Is that fair?
I love it. Top 10 players.
That's a little bit of me and Parker right there,
That's
man.
right.
A little tag team.
Absolutely.
All right, so look at this list, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't see it, it's you put it on the back wall. So how we do
JB,
it?
I'll forward it to you.
Oh, JB before it too, because we need the people to be able to interact. They got to see.
I'll throw it back up.
You gonna throw it back up?
Parker there.
Or we put it on the back wall. Yeah. So right now, if you're looking at this, my top 10 favorite players right now in the league: Matthew Judon, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Patrick Mahomes, Michael Parsons, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, and Brian Branch. Yes, I know I love Devontae Adams. Yes, I know I love Justin Jefferson. But if you ain't winning, you ain't on this list. So, who would you like to rank 10th on this list? Ryan, Ermanni, fellas, Maz, who's 10th on this list?
I'd say Judon.
You say Judon?
Yeah.
Matthew Judon ranked second in the league right now in sacks at 4.5, and his Patriots playing really good defense. Okay, we'll put him at 10.
Okay, you can put him at 10. I would have said Brian Branch.
I'm just saying.
10 ain't bad. We'll go with Judon. Judon at 10.
Brian Branch at 10, but I'm fine. We can put Judon at 10.
Well, we're talking about who we like, right?
That's just true.
So then let's go Branch at 9.
Fine.
How about Branch at 9? Fair. The two Detroit guys, 10 and 9, because Judon is from here. Right?
Okay, 100%.
Yep.
We'll do Matthew Judon and do Brian Branch. The reason why Brian Branch is on the list once, it's my list. I can make it how I want it. These are my favorite players. But you get a pick 6 week 1 against Kansas City in Kansas City that pretty much won that game, and then you get 11 tackles to really get that defense going. In week 3, with there's no CJ GJ, I don't know about you. I like him in there. So 9. Who's 8? Who are we looking at for 8?
Who's that Steeler?
That's T.J. Watt.
That's T.J. Watt.
Boy, this is tough.
I don't have my glasses
it's a
on.
good list.
I go with Herbert.
That's what I would
like
say.
it. I like it. Justin Herbert. They're 1
go
and 2
with
right
Herbert.
now. Still not an interception thrown by Justin Herbert. He is lighting it up. It is not the offense's fault in Los Angeles, at least not with the Chargers.
Bless you.
So now we're on 6,
7.
7.
Now we're on 7.
I would, and you may disagree with me. 7. I go Patrick Mahomes.
That's a low.
I go Patrick Mahomes. Whoa. And before you guys make that face, Patrick Mahomes is not the reason they're 2-1 right now. It's their defense is the reason they're 2-1 right now. We're not talking about who's a better player. Just like right now.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
Who's in the middle there?
Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill. Yeah, he's him and Tua are gonna be
I'm
1-2.
I'd put Tyreek Hill there at 6.
We put Tyreek 6.
Yeah.
And then Tua right next to him.
You wouldn't put Tua
No,
one?
no, I don't know if I'd put him one.
No.
After Tyreek, I'd put McCaffrey.
These are the best players, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah.
With that being said,
I'm
Tua just scored 70.
I'm saving Micah Parsons and Miles Garrett
1 and 2.
TJ Watt. That's my top three.
I'm cool.
That's kind of what
Those
I
are my
was
three.
thinking, too.
I'm cool with that until I saw what Micah Parsons said after he got his ass
What'd
whooped
he
on
say?
Sunday.
What'd
He
he
was like,
say?
we played down to our level of competition. You didn't play down. They beat your ass. They out-schemed you. They out-zoned you. You didn't miss tackles. You got ran over. They hit you in the mouth. So before that game, I agree with you that Micah Parsons was number one. But after a game like that, they're still 3-0. He's still leading the league in pass. Like, Tua's got to be number one.
See, I would put Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey right next to each other.
I'm good with that.
And I don't know, however you want to rank them, 6 and 5, 5 and 4, 3 and 4, however you want to do it. Because both guys impact their teams and give an element to their teams that is unmatched in the National Football League.
Christian McCaffrey hasn't lost the game with the San Francisco 49ers since he's been there. Hasn't lost the game. So I agree with you on that.
I still think Watt and Miles Garrett and Micah are my top three, and I'd put Tua fourth.
I'm cool with TJ Watt and Miles Garrett being 2 and 3, and then look, Micah had a bad game. We're only going off 3 games played, and he had a bad one the last one. He got ran over by the Arizona Cardinals. He didn't get beat.
He got hurt in the beginning of the game.
Well, you know what? It's a man's game.
Can we settle on Miles Garrett at number 1? With Jim Schwartz knowing how to use him?
I don't have a problem with that.
Can we do that?
I just don't understand why Tua can never get his credit. All he does is win, and he never gets the credit.
Top three.
It's Tariq Hill's credit.
Top
It's
4.
Mike McDaniel's credit. The man scored 70 points last week, 35 the week before
he
that.
He does feel one of those guys that gets no credit.
He's 3-0.
He does
no
feel like
interceptions.
that. He does
He's
feel like that.
He's killing it.
But you know, I mean, that's what it is. You got Tyreek Hill. It's no different.
So did Patrick Mahomes.
And again, it's no different from
Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown.
Well, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. You need a guy.
Right.
If you're going to be good, you need a guy. It's no different from Nick Bosa.
I understand.
Nick Bosa needs a guy in the middle. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But with that being said, all he does is win. Every other quarterback.
Okay, Tua is number 1.
I'm just saying, all he does is win.
Tua is 1.
All he does is win. At some point, it has to be not just about the team and the system. It's got to be about the guy. Tua's won every game he started in the last 2 years.
Tua's 1, Tyreek Hill is 2.
It's another guy, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, like, just because he's on that team, you can't give them all the credit for him being 12-0.
Tua 1, Hill 2.
Hill can go 5. Shut up.
Let me get on this.
I like TJ Watt, Miles Garrett can be 2A
I'm
and
not a
2B.
TJ Watt guy. I don't know. I'm sure he's fine, but
Yeah, he's leading the league in sacks.
Have you watched them?
He's got a
not really.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's a boring team.
I know,
to
but
me.
they're on twice on
I
national
know.
TV.
They're
How
the
do you
worst
miss them?
team. I hate watching Pittsburgh.
I hate watching them.
I hate watching Pittsburgh.
But this guy he's their team.
I agree.
He's their team.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
TJ's balling.
You could have one player on the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
A, B, or C.
Micah Parsons.
That's it. Miles Garrett or
Micah
TJ
Parsons.
Watt.
Micah Parsons.
Okay, so then Miles Garrett is 3.
Yeah.
I mean
Miles Garrett's
Parsons.
2.
Yeah.
I don't freaking know. We got all 10 different top 10 lists.
They're all great.
I got one. You got one. You got one.
They're all good.
It's
I think
fun.
top 3 is Tua, Miles Garrett, then Christian McCaffrey.
Give me a top 3 off this list. Everybody go around and give me a top 3 off this list because these are the
Just
10.
for right now.
Just for right now.
All right. For right now, I'm going Tua, Miles, TJ.
I'll go McCaffrey in no particular order.
Yeah.
McCaffrey, Garrett, and Tua.
McCaffrey does get it done. He's been more healthy this year too. He's running guys over too.
big
McCaffrey's
guy.
a beast.
I'll put 2 in my top 3 for you, but then give me TJ and Micah.
We're just gonna give you the guys that are next to each other. We'll give you TJ, we'll give you Micah, and we'll give you Miles.
There you go.
Because they are playing the best
Give me the
football
crack
in the
man
league.
because he's waiting.
All right, Crackman next. But first, a message from SMA. We're going to Lambeau next.
We're going to Lambeau.
Field.
Don't
We'll
leap.
do it next. Yeah, baby.
Do a
Lions,
leap.
baby. But first, a message from SMA.
helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com, sports marketing agency. They're looking out for you.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's a Cintron Energy. You can drink it. You can live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. And purchase your Cintron at your local Meijer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves. You can go register for the $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, gang, WoodwardSports.com. We are on YouTube. Hit that like button for us. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube as well. Gang, we've got a real treat for you. Coming to us from Lambeau Field. In Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Look at him.
Only, the Crackman, Ron Cracchiola Crackman.
Oh,
Who loves you, baby?
Who loves you, Ron?
What's going on, baby?
You tell me, Crack. I didn't realize you were on the line. Nobody
we're
told
rocking
me.
out here in Lambeau, right over here.
Show me around. Turn that phone around. Let me
That's
see
Lambeau Field right there.
I'm looking at your face. You got to turn it around. Oh, there you go.
Things are rolling over here. There's the Tub Gators. Hold on, walk by the tub. We're rocking it out, baby. Had a good time last night. Brad Holmes picked up my tab. That was nice of him. He's a good man.
Hey, Crack, we have some pictures from last night. Crack, we have some pictures from last night. We're showing now. Tell us about it. Tell us about it. Brad Holmes picked up your tab.
You see the hot tub?
Hold on.
I'll tell you what.
No, he's
We're
not
gonna
going
be
to
rocking
listen to
this
you.
house tonight.
Just let him do his thing.
We're gonna be loud, and proud, baby.
Let me see that
He's
tub.
gonna take over.
Beautiful sky. Gorgeous, Crack.
See?
I love it.
Show it to us, Crack. Show it to us. I don't see the Tub Gators. Oh, there we go.
Look
There's
at
the Tub Gators.
Well, we're having a good old time in Green Bay. I'll tell you that.
Hey, Crack, what happened last night?
It's kind of hard to hear.
I said, what happened last night, Crack?
We're taking the Packers down tonight. Packers are going down big time, baby.
All right, buddy.
We're melting all that cheese in a hot tub.
I love it. Crack.
Whoa.
Hey, how many beers go down before the game?
Oh, good question.
Hold on, the speaker's going. What's that, Ryan?
How many beers go down before the game?
Hell, I can't count. I don't have enough fingers to count.
Who loves you, baby?
That's just like that's like when I got pulled over, the cop says, how many do you have? I said, the first one and the last one. 2.
Hey, Crack, where you sitting tonight?
But I tell you what, it's crazy out here. We're right across from Lambeau. Tough setup, the fans all over
Right,
the
you
place.
ask him where he's sitting. He listens to you.
Place is electrified tonight.
Hey, Crack, where you sitting tonight?
Okay, I gotta get. Hold on, I gotta get a picture. It's tough. I'm trying to talk to you, and everybody wants to get my picture here. Come on.
You're a very famous guy, Crack Man. You're a very famous guy.
Not easy being Crack.
It is.
Not easy being Crack.
Pride worldwide,
It
baby.
was in the 80s.
All right, Crack.
was in
Thanks
the
so
80s.
much,
All right,
my friend.
I'm dizzy.
We love you. I'm getting dizzy.
Love you,
I'm
Crack
dizzy,
Man.
dizzy. We love the
I
Crack.
closed 3 bars. That's not bad for a guy 71 years old.
Closed
not
3
bad.
of them.
Oh.
Closed 3 of them last night.
It's only 3
Hey,
bars.
Ryan,
in
send
Green
us some
Bay.
Remember, baby, remember.
Who loves you, baby?
It's
Who
only
loves
3
you?
bars in Green
All
Bay.
right, Crack.
Close
Go
them
have
all.
a good time tonight. Love you.
All right, love you guys.
Talk
Peace,
to you
man.
soon. Go Lions!
Go Lions.
I'm heading back. I'll be going back to the UP, stop at the Uberman, and be coming home Saturday.
We love it.
Have fun.
Be
All
safe.
Speed. Go
Be
Lions,
safe.
baby.
31-17 Detroit.
Let's go.
That's
what
almost,
Braylon
yeah,
said.
there we go. That's what I call it.
That's what
Almost.
Braylon said. Hey, Parker, throw up some of those
Hello.
pictures again. So this is last night. Crackman was out in Green Bay.
Closing it down.
Brad Holmes, there's TJ Lang there
TJ.
too, Jennifer Hammond. Brad Holmes picked up the
Hammer.
Crackman's tab last night. How about that?
That's
Hell
cool.
of a guy.
That's
Hell of
cool.
a guy. Is that
You know
great?
who else you met? Sir Jerry Jacobs.
Jerry
too.
Jacobs is out
Hey,
there.
there you go. What was Jerry Jacobs doing now? You better be studying.
He
Better be
was
getting ready for the
studying.
game. No, I'm just
He had
joking
his
with him.
headphones on. He was studying that. He had his tablet.
He clearly closed down 3 bars in Green Bay. There's
71
There's only
years
3
old.
bars in Green
And
Bay.
they closed them
He
all
closed
down.
them all.
Hey,
That's
TJ.
Why, that's why it was 3 and not 4.
Hey, between him and TJ, now I've drank with TJ before. TJ can,
And you know he knows the bars there. I mean that was his place.
That's very true.
Absolutely.
place.
It's very true.
Maz, take me around the NFL if you would,
bet,
will
man.
you?
I can do that for you. Hey, Kansas City is playing the New York Jets this weekend. What is that, a Sunday night or a Monday
So
night?
I was going to the game,
Is
man.
that the Sunday night game?
It's Sunday night.
Okay,
I
it's
feel
better
ba-
if you don't go.
No, I didn't go.
All right.
I didn't go.
So
I
the
feel
Kansas
bad,
City
though.
chief reporters go to William Gay and they're
I'm not
like,
loyal.
What do you fear in Zach Wilson? What does Zach Wilson show you? Here's what he said.
When you look on tape, what are you seeing from Zach Wilson and their offense?
That was a hard question. I can't lie. The team that want to run the ball.
Run the ball.
Damn, that's a hard
he was
question.
being,
I can't lie.
He was being polite.
So when you have to talk to media before any time, they always tell you vanilla. Like you always say something nice about the team. You always find something. You always have something in your pocket. Trust me, we played against bad teams. Well, I was Browns, so they probably were talking about us. But you always have something in the back pocket to say. Zach Wilson has been so abominably bad for the Jets and that offense. He couldn't find anything. He was looking to find something. And then they haven't run the ball with Dalvin Cook and Brees Hall. So he was looking, and it reminded me of Maz at Dispo on that Friday. He said, I dug deep. I came out with nothing.
And honestly, even if you pissed off Zach Wilson, it's not like he could use that to play better.
Listen, Dan Orlovsky came to his
No
rescue
motivation.
today.
What did he
You
say?
know what Dan said?
Just let him cook. Just let him go.
Let him kid. What are you doing to the kid? You know what they tell him? They're like, don't lose the ball.
Don't screw it up.
Don't screw it up. You can't play that way.
You know what? Same as Justin Fields.
This kid's head is all screwed up. He was a damn good quarterback. He was picked in the first round for a reason. Let the guy be a quarterback. Who cares if he throws 5 interceptions? You know you're going to lose anyway. Don't just let the defense try to win you the freaking game. Look what happened last week. You scored 10 freaking points. You gave up 15. Let the guy just go out there and throw the ball.
Here's where I understand where Dan Orlovsky, shout out to class of 05, I understand where Dan's coming from. I understand what you mean by that. You're back in Dan's play, and I understand that. I get that. But he just doesn't have it. He's just not it. And, yes, they drafted him in the first round a couple years ago, Madison. You know what that's called? Negligence. They overshot on that pick. They didn't do their research. They didn't stay with it. They were that draft class, by the way, all of them were reaching in that class. But with him, you know he doesn't got it. He got sacked on a play in last game, Mass. He got sacked. He sacked himself. Yeah. Nobody touched him. He sacked himself. He's going to end up getting himself killed because the offensive line is already not good. That's what got Aaron Rodgers hurt, if we're being honest. So now you got a guy that's scared. He's nervous. He's just not it. You're going to end up getting that boy killed, or he's going to get seriously hurt. That's going to be a serious job like Adam Gase with Sam Darnold. He's just not it. And the other part is, if you're the defense, Ryan and Monty, and you put everything into every week, you're putting everything into the game plan, going against this team, going against the Kansas City Chiefs, you're trying to do what you can do to stop that team, to put yourself in the best chance to get to the playoffs. They're still thinking playoffs. Or if you're on the offense, and then you have a coach that puts Zach Wilson in the starting lineup yet again after you know who he is, it doesn't matter what you do with him right now. It's over for Zach. You got to get another quarterback in there.
Is it possible he's in a crappy coaching position like Justin Fields?
It is. It is. You talking about Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
I just haven't seen that Zach Wilson through three different offensive coordinators. Through three different offensive coordinators, I haven't seen.
That's a story in and of itself.
This is true.
2 years, 3 offensive coordinators.
I understand that, but this story isn't about Zach Wilson and helping him get through his time. This is about helping the New York Jets make the best chartable course through. Like, look, Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back. Now it's finally starting to settle in. Aaron's not coming back. He's done. He's hurt. He's out. But you know what happens? Life goes on. You still got 14 games left.
Yeah.
You still have 14 games left, and you owe it to that fan base. You owe it to the players on that team to put another quarterback out there and try something new.
But that's Simeon.
Trevor Simeon. I understand it, but you have to do something after this game. Like, after this game, like, I would do it before this game, to be honest. But you got to do something. Because the guys are. What am I coming to work for, Ryan and Monty? I think what am I coming to work for?
I think Robert Saleh is going to get fired over this,
and it's not going to be. And it's not his fault.
It is his fault. He has dug his heels in on Zach Wilson.
True.
That is your fault. At the expense of your football team. That is your fault.
It's hard to make a trade now. No one's given up the ghost yet.
I agree, but at the same time, like. Somebody said something. I think it was Dan Orlovsky. He said that the decision with Aaron Rodgers and how they were moving the quarterbacks and not having a backup quarterback, blah, blah, that's all above Robert Saleh's pay grade. That's all front office. That's all Joe Douglas, and that's all Woody Johnson. They're having a conversation about the quarterback. They're not telling him, even with their drafted Zach Wilson. You think Robert Saleh, a defensive coach, went in there and was like, hey, I like that kid out of BYU. That wasn't on him, but he's going to take the hit for it.
No doubt about it. Saleh doesn't know the first thing about offense, and that's the head coach. But you're digging your heels in. That's a very bad decision.
I agree with that.
Guys, I got to get a break in. When we come back, more NFL conversations. I'll tell you this much. There is a lot going on in this league, including former head coach of the Lions getting a deal done. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. And yes, they are still just $10 a month. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey guys, how would you like to play golf like a celebrity? You can do that thanks to Randy Wise and Woodward Sports. Stop in any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and a tasty steak afterwards. Compliments of Fairway Packing. Make the wise decision. Visit a Randy Wise today for your chance to win.
Hey guys, welcome back. Woodward Sports on YouTube. Subscribe to our WSN YouTube channel. Coming up on 51,000 subscribers on this channel. Also, hit that like button. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people. Let me set up the rest of the day for you here on Woodward Sports as well. Pretty big day. It is game day. So we've got the heavyweights coming up at 5. If you're watching live right now, the heavyweights coming up at 5. At 6:30, Jeff Iafrate is going to take over for our Lions pregame show. Then you can keep it right here for the live stream. The Woodward Sports Watch Party. Place is going to be packed. We'll be watching the game in here, and we hope you will watch along with us. Afterwards, it is the post-game show. We'll take you until after midnight. So locked and loaded. Just stay right here. WSN's YouTube channel. We invite you to stay with us all day and all night. Woodward Sports on YouTube. Also, Braylon, hour number 1 and into hour number 2 was all Lions.
Yeah.
We invite you to, if you're just joining us now, rewind the show. We talked to Mike O'Hara 30 minutes into the show. We got the latest on the Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers. Big matchup. Lions a 1.5 favorite on the road in a divisional game. Is it up to 2.5 now, Maz? I did not see that. Good stuff. So
yep, it went up 2.5.
Okay, great stuff
Taylor
there.
Decker, David Montgomery.
Absolutely. Decker, Montgomery in, Mosley out, Christian Watson in, Aaron Jones in for the Green Bay Packers, but the left side of their offensive line will be out in this one as well for the Packers.
Jones has that hamstring that he pulled going in for a touchdown in week 1. He ran right to the locker room after he scored, and they're not the same without him. He is dynamic. A.J. Dillon has not done it for them. If they get that running game going, they're going to be much better. Jordan Love, I think, is going to be running for his life tonight. I think Aiden Hutchinson has another big night.
I'm going to throw something out there, and I'm glad you said that. I'm going to piggyback off what you said. Doesn't this feel like one of those nights when I said that I want to see Aaron Glenn move Aiden Hutchinson around? Listen, he can't move around like Micah Parsons. They're a different size. They're not the exact same player. But I see defensive ends move around a lot. And you're talking about David Bakhtiari being out. That left side, the left guard is out. The left side is ripe for an Aiden night. Couldn't this be one of those nights we see Aaron Glenn come up with some scheme, come up with some ideas and some different stunts that they put Aiden on the opposite side?
Absolutely, and I think this Lions defense, and this is one of the things we were talking about with Mike O'Hara too, this defense in the last 10 games of last year gave up 20.2 points per game. This year, through 3 games, they gave up 20 points to Kansas City. They gave up 6 points to Atlanta, and yes, they gave up 31 points in regulation to Seattle, but 7 of those points were on a pick 6. So this defense only gave up 24 points really in regulation and 2 short fields. That aside, they did give up 24 points in regulation. The defense did. This defense is not allowing a ton of points, and I don't anticipate Green Bay to score more than 23 points tonight, and the Lions can absolutely score 24 or more. I do think this is somewhat of a game reminiscent of last week, like the Atlanta Falcons. Not so much 20-6, but like a 27-13 game, a 28-14 kind of game. I feel that's what this game to me, feels like how it's going to play out.
Look, the Detroit Lions gave up 20 points to the Kansas City Chiefs on opening night at Arrowhead. This is Patrick Mahomes we're talking about, and they gave up 20 points. I don't care about who played it. To the end of the day, they held them to 20 points. And then week 2, look, they played an ugly game, turnovers, and they got some they got some points scored on them by a Seattle team that we believe to be one of the better teams in the league, definitely in the NFC. And then they dominated an Atlanta Falcons team that is now 2-1. So I think their defense is definitely letting you know where they stand. Their defense that can play. Their defense that can hit. Their defense that's to be feared. And Brian Branch told us best. F it. We'll take the penalty.
Maz, let's continue to go around the NFL.
I will. Hey, a guy that I always liked was Jim Schwartz. And I don't understand why he hasn't gotten a head coaching job. But he's taken a defense to a Super Bowl.
Pants.
I love Jim Schwartz.
Creases.
He has taken the Philadelphia Eagles defense, won a Super Bowl with them. Yeah, they gave up a lot of points in the Super Bowl, but they did win. And now he's got the Cleveland Browns playing at the top of their game. They are dominating, and Myles Garrett has never played or looked better under his scheme.
And you know one other part about Jim Schwartz, too? You know who should just go up and give him a hug and a handshake each and every day?
Jim Harbaugh.
Deshaun Watson. No. Because Deshaun Watson
he's benefiting.
Is 2-1 in large part because of this guy right here.
Yeah.
Because of this guy on the board behind me right now. You'll see him in a minute.
Jimmy
this
Handshake.
Guy right here.
Yeah,
that guy.
Jimmy Handshake.
Jim Schwartz, look, Cleveland Browns have had defensive players for about the last 4 to 5 years. Hell, Cleveland Browns had a pretty good defense, Maz, if I'm not correct, in 19 when they went on to the playoffs and they beat the Steelers. They've had the players intact, but they haven't had the coaches that can get the most out of these players. Now you put Jim Schwartz in there. We've seen his track record in the places that he's been. You've seen him in Tennessee. You've seen him with the Eagles. You saw how the defense was here in Detroit to a certain extent. Now you give him Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Newsome.
If he's not a head coach next year, I'll be shocked. If he is not a head coach.
But once again, he's a defensive coach.
That's exactly right, Braylon. This is a quarterback league.
Yeah.
There's going to be 4 more quarterbacks, maybe 5 if Shedeur Sanders comes out, taken in the first round. If you're an NFL owner and you see what's going on in Chicago and you see what's going on in New York right now with the Jets, how do you put a defensive guy in?
But he was already a head coach.
I understand that.
And he didn't have
he's
success.
a defensive guy.
Yeah, he did. He had success.
And who was his offensive coordinator?
What did he do?
His offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I forgot too.
What did he do, man? You said he had success. What did he do
Mike
as a
Martz,
head coach?
but it wasn't.
What type of success? Head coaches that are old head coaches, prior head coaches getting jobs now, you got to be Sean Payton. You got to be somebody that won a Super Bowl. Because if Sean Payton, I guarantee, hadn't won a Super Bowl, they won't bring his old self back. They want everybody to be 38, 36, 35. They want the new young guy. The defensive head coaches, they're all about to be extinct, man. Mike Tomlin.
That's why I don't think Aaron Glenn gets a job, to be honest with you. It's got nothing to do with anything. Yeah. He's a defensive head coach.
Mike Tomlin, he'll be out soon. Pete Carroll, look, I know he's doing a really good job with the Seahawks. He'll be out soon. He's 71 years old. He'll be out soon. It's another defensive guy. Sean McDermott looked like he was about to be out there for a minute. They've turned it around a little bit. But defensive head coaches, you know what it is? They don't know how to pick up the slack when the quarterback's struggling. Like when you're an offensive coach, you understand that you got to score points. You got to make sure your quarterback feels good, has the right weapons around him. When you're defense, you're just looking at the offense guy like, damn, we paid you $252 million. Figure it out.
Right.
That's not how it goes.
Amen. Break time, guys. Final segment coming up next. But
Pick
first
segment.
Message.
Our picks.
Got it. Well, we got to do one pick tonight.
Yeah, we got to do our.
Yeah, we got to do that. But first, a message from Mark White.
Buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty at all? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates is offering. It's called their minute-by-minute listing agreement. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Place to go to get your cannabis products? Well, you might look no further than Dispo. And now open till midnight at Romeo. Look, it's a cannabis mall, 21 and up, please. And also, it's only recreational, but that's because they got the best they have the best recreational cannabis you can get. The best ways to consume your cannabis, whether it's oil, whether it's flower, whether it's edibles, they got it all. They got it all. They even have this cream, this warming cream. Woo-hoo-hoo. My grandma even uses it for a bag. Come to Dispo. We'll take care of you.
All right, Tom Mazaway, a couple more NFL stories we want to get to.
I do. This one's been on for a couple days. So Colin Kaepernick, as probably everyone knows by now, has been reaching out to everyone. But he wrote a letter, had his agent write a letter to the New York Jets to say, hey, look, put me on your practice squad and let me show you what I can do. And the answer's no. It always is no. The guy has been blackballed. We know. He's not going to get another job in the NFL. He sued the NFL. Basically won a lawsuit against them secretly. And Bray,
yeah,
if that didn't happen, would it have been worth it to sign the 35-year-old to give him a shot?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about a guy that hasn't had a lot of trail in the tire, a guy that hasn't had injuries, a guy that's young, still can throw the deep ball, figure it out, why not? You give him a chance. At least put him on 8. He can't be any worse than the guy they already have right now.
Yeah.
But the problem with, and by the way, it wasn't his agent, it was J. Cole.
Okay.
It was rapper J. Cole who was lobbying on his behalf. Shout out to J. Cole. He does a lot of good stuff, including he was a minority owner with the Bobcats when Jordan sold it. So shout out to him. He made some coin. But it's about the distraction. And that's what it's always become. It's a distraction. You bring Colin Kaepernick in. They're no longer talking about Aaron Rodgers, which is a good thing. They're no longer talking about Zach Wilson, but now they're talking about his political views. And now they don't even care about the team. So that's the biggest thing is it became the other stuff that came with it.
Did you see Deion suspended 2 of his players this week for kneeling during the national anthem?
I did not see that.
He told them stand up, salute the flag, and he suspended them for this upcoming game.
I did not see that.
Yes.
Hey, look, if Deion already had rules in place before the season, and that's one of his rules, you got to follow the rules no matter what your stance are. Those are the rules, and those are Deion's rules.
Did you also see Travis Hunter and that one kid that gave him the cheap shot in Colorado State, hugging each other and meeting up, and they hugged it out?
I said, leave this kid alone.
God bless Travis Hunter, because he didn't have to do that.
God bless Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I'm sure Deion said it.
You know what? And that's why Deion Sanders is a college coach.
Yep.
The impact he has on these young men, teaching them to do the right thing. He is, for all intents, we all want to think that the coach is a father figure. Tom Izzo is, Deion Sanders is, Lloyd Carr was. You want to think these guys are that? Most of them, I don't want to say most of them. Many of them are not.
Focus on the coin.
This is exactly why Deion Sanders will remain a college coach, because his impact on these kids' lives far outweighs anything he does on the field, and that's why I root for Deion Sanders.
The good thing about that is everybody saw that hit, right, Mass? Everybody saw that illegal hit.
It was bad.
Everybody around the country, and everybody, very rarely does everybody in this country agree. In fact, it never happens. Everybody agreed for the most part that it was a cheap shot. So everybody would have agreed if Travis Hunter met up with him and knocked his block off. But instead, because of his teacher, Deion, he walks up, hey, man, look, it's all good. It's part of the game. You don't deserve death threats. Let's go out and grab a burger. Like, Deion, man, Like, Travis Hunter is going to be an amazing individual in life because of working under Deion and being under Deion. He's going to pay it forward, as they say.
Hey, before we get our picks in for tonight's game, couple baseball notes. Miggy hit number 511 last night. It was pouring rain. They wanted to get that game in. They suspended it. Finished it today. Tigers won that game. Couple more hits from Miggy. Takes the afternoon game off. He will play the remaining 3 games against Cleveland this weekend. Sunday is sold out at Comerica Park. He ties the great Norm Cash for second all-time for home runs with the Tigers. That's
incredible
pretty
stuff.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's a good number.
It is a good number.
It's a good number. And last night, history happened. I don't know if this will ever happen again. Ronald Acuna Jr. is the MVP of the league, and Mookie Betts had a phenomenal year. But this kid has taken it, and he is the MVP. Stole his 70th base last night and clinched home field advantage for the Atlanta Braves. Number 1 team going into the playoffs. The Cubs are dying. They are tied with the Marlins, fighting for the last playoff spot in the National League. But Ronald Acuna Jr., 70 steals, 40 home runs.
And I don't mean to take anything away from him. I really don't. But I think it is a legitimate question to ask what the baseball's new rules have
It helped.
on
Big time.
this base stealing, because you could only
Right.
throw over 1 time, and then you can go.
You could throw twice.
Twice?
Yes.
I thought it was once,
No,
but
it's
twice.
twice.
So you can go after that.
Yep.
So,
and the bases are bigger.
yeah,
Easier to
so
hang on to.
There you go.
He's not Ricky Henderson. He's not that. But this kid
God
is
bless him.
freaking
That's
special.
incredible
But Ricky
stuff.
Henderson
Freaking
can't hit home
special.
runs like him.
Well, he did hit home runs, but not that many.
He did, but not 40. Ricky Henderson that was my favorite baseball player.
Ricky can hit anything.
Did you guys see the clip of Acuna literally going to the base and just taking it?
Oh, yeah.
Picking it
Good
up.
for him.
He asked to do it too, which is cool. Then
The
he
Cubs
did it.
broadcasters were pissed. I'm like, they
were.
lost another game.
Screw the
Dropped
Cubs.
another pop hit.
That was the best thing that happened to the Cubs this year. Was him picking up that
You're
second
not
base.
kidding.
Right.
So Lions-Packers tonight, Rye. Let's go.
I got the Lions. I think it's going to be a two-score game. I'll go 28-14. It'll be
Ray?
fairly easy.
What do you got?
Lions gonna handle them. Look, I'm telling you, like, the Lions are a much better team, and I understand that they have good players. Lions are a better team. I think you see it tonight. I got the Lions 31. What did I say? 35. I said 35-21.
17. Oh, yeah.
35-21.
This is Thursday night. It's ugly. Lions 23, Packers 13. 23-13 on an ugly Thursday night.
That actually sounds good.
Lions
I
winning,
like
and
that
they're
score.
all white tonight at Lambeau again.
Incredible stuff, guys. It's going to be a great night. Absolutely enjoy the games. And again, tonight you've got heavyweights at 5. Jeff Iafrate with the Lions pregame show at 6:30. Then stay tuned for the live watch party, the live stream, live watch party with the crew in the house. And then, of course, the postgame show afterwards, taking you after midnight. Big day on Woodward Sports. Bray, Maz, JB, Parker, love you guys.
Yes, sir. Love you too.
Absolutely. Enjoy the game. Get us out of here, bro.
Yeah, we appreciate all the fans that tune in to Woodward Sports, whether it's our whatever show it is of ours. You guys tune in, you guys support, and that's why we try to put more and more content out there. That's why we do the live stream. That's why we do the pregame show. That's why we do the postgame show. It's for you guys out there. We appreciate you guys, so we keep rocking and rolling. For my man JB, Parker, Maz over there, my brother from another mother, Ryan and Mike to the left. Go Lions! Let's get it done.
Lions, baby.